What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Savage 5050 here. I know I'll be missing in action, but a boy still got to work on his personal life. You know, I got my first rental property out, working on my second. God bless America, of course. So anyway, I wanted to just talk about something I usually don't cover on my channel. I wanted to talk about the major risk that men take on when they deal with a single mother and if it's worth it or not. Now, here's the thing, men. And I know women also date fathers as well, you know, guys that already have pre-existing children as well. But I would arguably say is a bigger risk when men decide to take on a woman with a child, because biologically we're different. Men are providers. So if a woman is dating a single man with a child, she's not going to be responsible to take care of that child and that man financially. On the other end, men will be responsible at some point. Once the relationship gets serious enough, you will eventually be financially responsible for her child. So that's one of the risks that men are taking. So you will be financially responsible for that child, especially if there's no baby father that's involved or the baby father is a deadbeat. And that's another issue you will have to deal with, is dealing with the baby father. You would be surprised how dangerous custody battles really are. And it's not talked about enough. Custody battles are extremely dangerous. A lot of men, a lot of fathers, biological fathers, are killed in the process of exchanging the children. And it's not talked about enough. I've been over several stories I heard about this year where men was killed by either the boyfriend or the kid's mother, fiance or husband, in a process of exchanging children. If you and a baby mother get along, that's great. But if you and a baby mother don't get along, y'all need to be meeting at a police station. As a man, do you want to sign on for that? Do you want to sign on to have to deal with another man because you around his children? It's a huge risk. A lot comes along with it. It's gun exchanges in a lot of cases. And it's not even talked about enough. You know how many men are behind bars? You know, you deal with a woman with a children, she put a battery in her new boyfriend back, and next thing you know, he's trying to attack you when you're trying to pick up your kids. He's jealous of you because you had kids with her first. You never know what type of dude you're going to be dealing with on either end. The father that got to go pick up the children is at risk. The new guy that's with the woman is at risk. And a lot of times, she be tired of both of y'all raggedy asses, put a battery in her new boyfriend back, and then next thing you know, it's a situation. So the biological father go to pick up his kids, he get deleted. So he's out the picture, so it ain't no custody battle no more. And then the new baby father, he did something crazy, so now he's going to jail. So now she's single. And now she get to do whatever she want, and she ain't going to be dealing with neither one of y'all because the boyfriend going to be behind bars and the baby father is deleted. And that's what's going on, and it's not even being talked about, how dangerous custody issues could be. It's not even talked about. Another thing, and rightfully so, men, if you sign on a serious note with a woman, you will never be first, and that's rightfully so. She always going to prioritize her child or children over you, as she should. As she should. A lot of times, women don't really understand how to raise men to be men. So when you're dealing with women, the kids a lot of times don't know how to act when they're being raised by a single mother. Single motherhood is nothing to be praised about. We need to go back to the 40s, the 50s, when single mothers was shamed for being single mothers. Now they're glorified for being single mothers like it's such a great accomplishment. And it's promoted, especially in the black community. And then a lot of times these women have son husbands where they don't even want the son to get out the house when he's old enough. But the son is also a mama's boy who don't even want to move out. And he typically wound up being lazy. So if you're dealing with a woman that's 40 and she got an 18, 19-year-old son, it's likely, not in all cases, it's likely he's still going to be living with the mother because he ain't man enough to live on his own. And she ain't woman enough to get rid of him. And another problem you're going to run into is she will also remind you that that's not your child. The woman will always remind you that ain't your child. And you guarantee the child is going to remind you that you ain't his biological father all the time. You ain't my dad, he going to say, or she going to say. And the mother is going to let you know that that's not your son. That's not your daughter. It's a huge risk that men are taking on. And I will arguably say women take less of a risk when they deal with a man with children versus a man dealing with a woman with children. And there's a lot of reasons why, a lot of biological reasons why, and a lot of legal reasons why. Women don't get falsely accused of sexual violations, right? For the most part. When you're dealing with a woman that may have a daughter, a young daughter, oh yeah, you got to watch yourself, men, because you never know what children may say, whether it's true or not. And it's not true that children always tell the truth, especially if the mother tells the children to say certain things. And it's not talked about enough. It's not talked about enough about how many men are falsely accused of violations like this. It's just not talked about enough. And it's unfortunate because it need to be brought up in a conversation. A lot of men are stepping away from marriage as well because the way the laws are put together. A lot of these laws, especially marriage, child support, all of this stuff is designed to destroy the man and break up the family. As conservatives, we got to promote family. But at the end of the day, you're already going into a broken family if you're signing on to be a step parent. If you're signing on to be a step parent, you are already going into a situation that is broken, that's trying to be fixed. And you'll never be number one. You will never be number one. Women are not going to, and I say the men take more of a risk because you got to deal with situations where you're going to be financially responsible. At some point, you will be financially responsible. You are dealing with a situation of baby daddy drama that you don't even need, especially if you're a man and you ain't even got no kids. I don't even know why you're signing on for that situation. Now, I'm not going to say I would never date a woman that has children, because I did and I would do it again. But is me really signing on to be like a full-time step parent and to be with her and live together? No, I would never live with a woman that has children, because I know the risk that comes along with it. And a lot of men are also paying child support for children that's not even theirs. You could be in a situation where you're paying child support for kids that's not even yours. How? Because if you file her child on your tax return for a year, 2 years, the state and the government consider them your children. And if you build a tight bond with them children as well, and she decide she don't want to be with you no more and keep them children away from you, you don't have no legal obligation to be around them children. And on top of that, you will still be financially responsible, because she could say you filed them children on your tax return for several years. Oh yes, my friend. Yes, man, you will be responsible, because you basically consider them kids yours once you signed them on your tax return. So you could pay child support for kids that's not even yours. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Ladies and gentlemen, comment, let me know. Is it really worth the risk? And also, you will be 100% responsible financially at some point, but you will never get the authority as if you was the biological father. You'll be responsible financially. Oh, yes, you will. But you will never have the authority over her kids to discipline them. Maybe in rare cases it is. And I'm not trying to discredit single fathers that actually take on single mothers, because I know there is cases where that actually works out. But I'm just talking about in general, for the most part, it's not worth it, because we got to bring shame back to men and women. We got to bring shame back. That's what's wrong with society now. We have no shame. It used to be a time where single mothers was shamed for having children out of wedlock, shame for not marrying their baby father. But now it's considered okay. Now it's considered okay, where women are being praised for being single mothers. I'm a strong woman, or I'm a strong black woman in a lot of cases. And another thing, before I get off of here, you never, as a man, you will never be respected by any woman. I don't care. You will never be respected by any woman if you move into her house. It's either like this, man. She moved with you, or y'all get a place together. That's the only way it works. Never move in with a woman, because she won't respect you. And you will be financially responsible to pay her mortgage or to pay her rent as well. And she won't respect you. And on top of that, is this not manly? Don't do that. Have your own place. You should have your own place. She ain't going to respect you off of the simple fact is, what are you doing as a grown-ass man that you need to move in with me? That's almost like borrowing a woman's car. If you got to borrow a woman's car, you're not a man. If you got to live with her, you're not a man. All right, if she got her own place, cool. You dating her, you go over her house and chill, that's fine. Leave the next day, that's cool. But if you got to move in with her to the point where you ain't got no place to go, what did you do wrong as a man? You ain't got no damn car. You must not even got a job. She ain't gonna respect you anyway, because most likely you can't even, your finances is messed up, so she not gonna respect you off the jump anyway. But anyway, that's my thoughts on signing on to be a stepdaddy. I don't think that being a stepfather is worth it, because it's a lot to come along with it, and men get caught up and a lot of situations can't get out of. But that's just my thoughts on it. And I know this is a little controversial. I don't know. But let me know a comment if what I said made any sense. And I know I missed a bunch of topics about it, because there's just so much that go along with it. I feel like, you sign on to be a stepfather, you will never get the credit. It's a thankless job. You will never actually get any real credit for signing on to be a step parent. Although society and women now try to shame men for not signing on to be stepdaddies, they say, oh, only a real man would sign on to take care of another man's kids. Only a real man would take care of another man's kids and stuff like that. You don't feel obligated. Don't get shamed into it. I mean, women, they always have a lot of, they always got a lot of preferences and standards. But when they have preferences, it's considered standards. And when men do it, it's considered misogynistic. But I would arguably say that mothers, well, women don't have to take as much of a risk, especially financially, when they're dealing with a father who has children already, because they're not going to be looked at as authority figures, and and most fathers know how to discipline the child, so they'll never have to look for the stepmother to do the disciplining. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what y'all think about what I said. Anyway, Like my video, share my video, comment. Let me know what you think. Was I tripping? Was I not?